Hi everybody, welcome back to Big Balls Fantasy Football. It's Greg the Beast here with your Beasting Out segment. I'm going to give you two go hards and two go softs, two players that are going to do good in your lineup this week, two players that might not produce as well for you this week. I want to give a really quick shout out to somebody that we lost from our fan family. Lonnie Robinson unfortunately left us this week. And I just want to give a shout out to Sherry. We're thinking of him. He used to be really good to our show, so Godspeed to him. And I want to thank him for all his support. And he was a huge Steelers fan. And as Phil said, who was at the Monday Night Football game, Lonnie pushed Le'Veon Bell across the finish line. Anyway, let's get on to more positive things. Let's get on to Eddie Lacy. Well, he's not a completely positive thing because he has not been producing for you fantasy-wise. Everybody that took him early, he's kind of been a fantasy bust. That's because he's been up against, tough run defenses. It's really easy to take somebody in the early rounds, but then all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, these are really good run defenses, and he's not going to produce. Well, I got a gift for you this week. He is up against the Chargers, damn it, and they give up the second most points to running backs. He is going to be just like Le'Veon Bell. My prediction for you is the way Le'Veon Bell ran like Swiss cheese through the Chargers defense on Monday Night Football. He is going to go off this week. The defenses he's been putting up with are Seattle, Kansas City, San Francisco, St. Louis. It's not simple. So put him in your lineup this week, as you have been, most of you. I don't think anybody's dumped him, but I'm just telling you, finally, you're going to get some production out of Lacy. Let's go on to my second go-hard pick. It's tight end Gary Barnidge. Who's Gary Barnidge, you might say? Nobody drafted him, but he has been going off for the Browns at the tight end position. Week 3 versus Oakland, 6 receptions, 105 yards, 10 targets. That is what generally is always talking about. The targets is the most important thing. Week 4 versus San Diego, 6 receptions, 75 yards, 6 targets. And then the creme de la creme in Week 5 against Oakland, 8 receptions, 139 yards, 10 targets again. He is up against a really tough tight end defense this week. But I have a prediction. I like to play the trends, and this guy is just hot. And Prost, I'm sorry, you cannot call one-hit blender on this guy. He is showing that he can bring results. He has become McCown's big target there on the Browns, and it is a tough matchup. He's playing Denver, but he is also the guy that he checks down to. So he's going to keep checking down and checking down and checking down and getting you those PPR points. He's getting you those target points. He's getting you those yardage points. Make sure you pick him up off the waiver wire like I did in one of my leagues. And I hope my waiver pick gets him because I am going to ball out with him this week. So let's get to the Go Softs. I know you're all going to be shocked by this one because Allen and Allen over there in Jaguar land have been losing their mind over there at the wide receiver position in Jacksonville. But just a really, really, crappy matchup this week. I mean, I know what you're thinking. Weeks 2 and 4, there's the targets. Targeted 12 times. It's making you drool. It's making you drool. I got to play him. Week 5 versus Tampa Bay, 2 touchdowns. But it's the Texans D this week, who are very good defending against the pass. And they give up the 7th fewest points to wide receivers. It's just a really crappy matchup. I don't like it. And I know you're thinking, well, he's one of the Allens. Let me put him in. Actually, I was going to give you a twofer and say don't play Allen Burns either. But I picked him. Don't put him in your lineup this week. If you have a better choice coming off the waiver wire or you have somebody on your bench with a better matchup, I'd put him in. So speaking of the Texans defense, as a whole, fantasy-wise, the Texans defense has sucked. I have them in 2 of my leagues. I'm not happy about it. The points have just not been coming. 12 total fantasy points the entire 5 weeks they have been going. That's horrible. you want some sort of production. And I mean, they are an elite defense, but just fantasy-wise, they have not been doing it for you. No fumble recoveries, no touchdowns, only 6 sacks and 2 interceptions. They're not making turnovers for you. They're not getting pick sixes. They're not doing anything for you fantasy-wise. I'm not saying to get rid of them. I think they're finally going to have some people coming up later on, but just against good offenses and bad offenses, some really bad offenses, they have not been producing well. So I would sit there and put them in the backup position, and I'd pick up somebody else. Look on the waiver wire. There's got to be somebody out there that's going to get you more than this every week. So I wouldn't get rid of the Texans defense. That's why I'm saying go soft. I would say stick them on the bench, give them a few weeks, let them lick their wounds, and then get you some points in the next few weeks. So that is my Beasting Out segment. Thanks for watching, and let's go on to Jen Lee's Real Men Picks. Stay tuned.